Greetings, my friends. Once again, it is Dr. Jimmy at your service. Now hiding in the dark shadows. Yes, it is now time for one of my cocktail videos at last. I know many who are filthy drunks have anticipated my remaining cocktail videos for Halloween Horror Nights 28 last year, as I had not yet completed them. Yes, the event came to an end, and then several months have gone by now, and it is already almost June of 2019. It will be June in just a couple days. Hello, Lenny. She's lurking in the shadows, but of course she is. She's a nocturnal predator. After all, that is what a cat is. You know, fiendish creature of the night. Ha ha. Mighty huntress carnivore. Yes. So, I did all the haunted house cocktails for last year, and I started the Scare Zone cocktails, but never finished them. And the next Scare Zone cocktail would be only the third one for 2018, Halloween Horror Nights 28. And that is for Revenge of Chucky. The Scare Zone that had been in Hollywood Boulevard area of the park last year. You know, this fellow's Scare Zone. There he is, my dear little Chuck. When I was went through the Scare Zone, and he looked up and saw me and said, "Hey, you in a hat, what's your name?" And I said, "Jimmy." He says, "Jimmy the Hat." And that's what I was called for a while, the rest of that night, at least by the friends of mine who were there, and they called me, "Hey, Jimmy the Hat." So that's what Chucky decided to call me. He asked me what I do for a living, and I said that I was a professor of religion. And he says, "I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole." And he was right, of course. I didn't tell him that I teach religion at a school that trains sex therapists, because that would really have, he would have thought I was lying. But it's true. Yes. Oh. And the Scare Zone was quite delightful. It, of course, was set at an anniversary celebration for the company that made the Good Guys toys and other toys that, well, popular toys from the 80s and earlier. And it was quite wonderful to see these things walking around, although in a twisted demonic fashion. They couldn't really present the toys the way they really were. They had to warp them a little bit. So, for example, there was a sort of fashion doll, and I thought it was Barbie. Then I looked more closely and realized that she had a microphone, and she was wearing purple and had a sort of, well, jewelry, you know, gemstones. And I thought, holy crap, that's who that's. But now she had another name. I don't know. She wasn't called Gem, as here, a little Funko Gem from Gem and the Holograms. But this is the character that inspired. This was the toy upon which, not the Funko, but the original fashion doll from the 80s, and Gem and the Holograms had inspired a twisted scare actor version. Likewise, Care Bears were turned into Scare Bears. And here are a couple of Funko versions of Funko Pop version, because for Halloween Horror Nights Gallery, I represent that Scare Zone. And so these are the Funko Pop versions of the toys that inspired the Scare Zone. And so this is, I forget what this one's called, that he turned into, I think it's like Good Feelings or Good Heart Bear. I forget what the hell it's called. I'll have to look it up. But he was turned into a bad bear, you know, a broken heart bear. And the Good Luck Bear became a Bad Luck Bear. Both of these were altered and from Care Bears to Scare Bears. And here we have a little fellow who used to have his own playhouse on telly. Yes, Mr. Pee Wee Herman. I know you are, but what am I? Yes. And what's his word of the day? It says fun. I'll go with that any day. And when you say fun, everybody screams real loud. Ah! Yes, of course, Pee-wee. We all remember what Pee-wee was doing in that movie theater here in Florida about 25 years ago. But let's not touch that. Especially let's not touch that. Ew. But anyway, good old Pee-wee. Yes, he, about 27 years ago, I think, actually. Anyway, good old Pee-wee. There was a toy that was popular in the 80s, a Pee-wee Herman ventriloquist dummy. And there was definitely a version of that walking around the scare zone with the very same grey suit and bow tie. Obviously, it didn't exactly look like Pee-wee Herman. Looked like Pee-wee Herman and the ventriloquist dummy from that Goosebumps episode had a baby, which is what he was doing in that theater. Never mind. Oh yes, Revenge of Chucky was a delightful scare zone. Oh, and so many wonderful people were working that scare zone, some of whom I consider to be my friends, and they consider me that creepy guy who stalks us. Yes, like my friend Owen and Rosie, I think is her name, if that is her real name. I'm not quite certain. But they had lots of fun, and it was a wonderful, wonderful adventure. Oh, and of course, that marvelous girl, I think her name is Ashley, who was the broken ballerina. Have to give my heart out to her. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people in the show. Not a show. Well, they did a couple of shows. They did a tour of the Chucky himself would perform from time to time and do some insults and heckle the audience, but there were little bits that sometimes happened. One of the toys was an operation toy. Remember you have the funny bone and and you can't touch the edges or the nose goes beep. The operation toy and the bits and pieces. The wrenched elbow that looks like a wrench. All of these things that you pull out of the body holes. And they did that with an actual person. Ah! Yes, a sinister version of Operation. And other wonderful toys, the Easy Bake Oven. Of course, they didn't call it that, but we know the toys they're based on, especially if you're old like me and you can remember growing up with some of these toys, the really old ones that go back to to the 70s and 60s when I actually was a child. I can remember a barrel of monkeys. That's old enough that I remember it as a child, and the little plastic soldiers and other things like the Green Army Men, although they were sort of grey Army Men in this one because, well, somebody is kind of proprietary about the Green Army Men because they appeared in a certain movie that they have in an area over at a different movie studio themed theme park owned by a different company, has a certain area with no shade at all, and you get sunburned and hot if you go there. And they have a roller coaster like a Slinky Dog. You know what I'm talking about. What's ironic, of course, is that Here Comes Andy could mean two different things in their Toy Story land and at Universal's Chucky Scare Zone, because Andy was the boy's name in Child's Play. Oh, yes. Here comes Andy. I'm going to cut his nose off. Yeah. Let's play hide the soul, you little bitch. Yes, exactly. Oh, wonderful. I can't do a good Brad Dourif and I understand Mark Hamill was taking over the voice for the new movie, although Brad Dourif is coming back for the television program. So we have dueling Chuckies. We have the new rebooted movie Chucky, who's sort of a cybernetic, completely robotic, machines gone wild Chucky. And what the hell is in my reflection in my glasses? There's someone behind me. How frightening. What the hell is that? Oh dear. If there's some sort of Japanese girl with long hair or something, what the fuck is that? I'm starting to freak out because I don't know what that could possibly be. What is that? Good Lord. Right about in my lens right here. But what is that over there? That's disturbing because that's not behind me. Or is that? Oh, it's the reflection from. Oh, it's the reflection from what's in front of me, of all silliness. I think I see something over there. What is that? Well, this is that should be the computer screen. No, that's not it because my hand isn't there. What the hell am I looking at? It has to be reflection coming from this way toward my eyeballs. The fuck? It's like, because I don't have an open window behind me. Because they're all got blinds. All got blinds, like you saw earlier. So it looks like a window and something peeking through it. It must, well, I can see my own face. That must be the screen I'm looking directly at. So what the hell is that orange business to the side of it? Because I don't have anything orange to the side of it. What the hell is that? That's very weird. Optical delusions, I'm sure. Oh, that's just too freaky. I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore it because it's not actually there. And I don't want to cause... Oh, I know what it is. Because this is not my computer screen. That's a little screen window inside. That's a little screen window where the video is, and the other stuff, that's actually the operating system screen, that Yosemite Desert or something, from the Apple. That's all that is. So that's actually the computer screen that's showing up on my glasses. Okay, it was starting to freak me out. So what I thought might be a creepy Japanese girl was just this little cliff here, like a little dark hill, and it's not actually coming to kill me. All right, that's happy to hear that. And that's probably made the whole video stupid because it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. And I haven't actually started drinking yet. But it's been hot today, so... Anyway, Revenge of Chucky. I had to come up with a cocktail for that wonderful scare zone, which I've tried to describe a little bit, and all the fun things that were in it. And I'm sure I've left out a scare actor who's going to feel depressed. There was a little baby, actually big, huge, hulking baby, with the diaper and but quite wonderful stuff. Just wonderful scare zone that makes you relive your... It's never too late to have an abused childhood. If you had a very happy, now you can understand what it's like to have a demented, sick, horrible childhood. Ah! All right, now let's see. Okay, I have to make a cocktail for Chucky. What would Chucky drink? That was my first thought. Is he a gin man? Is he I thought, no, he's a bourbon man. I'm sure he is. Where's my accent going? It went all over the world there for half a moment. Okay, back to the real Dr. Jimmy Vincent Price voice again. There we are. Yes, I'm certain that Chucky drinks bourbon. And so I selected bourbon, though he's not from Kentucky. Here it is, straight edge bourbon whiskey. I don't think he's into straight edge punk, but I do think this razor is just the sort of thing he might like. An old classic never goes out of style. So I shall get a shot glass and pour some of the whiskey into it. That's nice. There we go. And I shall put that into this rocks glass. All right, there we are. And hopefully, and I've already splashed alcohol all over the mouse. Oh dear, I have a drunk mouse. Maybe Lenny will help me with it. Okay, that's a lot of liquor in the glass. I'm going to have to be careful with the other ingredients. But I was thinking, what else besides bourbon should go into this cocktail. I'm going to run and get a paper towel or something. Spillage. Incidentally, if you hadn't already figured it out, and if I didn't mention it before, and I hope I did, it's still Thursday, not April, Thursday, May 30th. The same day I did the reaction video for Nightingale's Blood Pit, even though that announcement was made nearly 7 weeks ago. However, I will not likely post this video until tomorrow morning on May 31st. Friday morning. Anyway, I was thinking it'd be very appropriate to have rum in the cocktail. I think Chucky might enjoy that, I'm not sure, but rum would be enjoyed by someone else. Damballa would enjoy rum. No, that's not the right bottle. Yes, the lower tend to really like rum. Probably has to do with the fact that that was the liquor that would be most likely available in places like the Caribbean, Haiti, or Cuba, where a lot of the African Caribbean religion tends to have all, well, coagulated from different strands of belief systems from all over the world. European Catholicism, African Oreshas, mixed up with Native American belief, and it gets sort of mixed, and eventually you have a new world religion which combines elements of all of these. But very often when you're trying to contact the lower in voodoo, you will take a sip of some rum, for example, and then spit it out, because it's the lower who wants to enjoy the rum, and you've tasted it, but they might taste it through you, especially if they're riding you like a horse at the time, in which case they might actually drink the rum altogether. But I decided on a good one. I have several, but this is a particularly good one, which was given to me by one of my students, Diplomatico, extra añejo. It says Ron, and when it says Ron, it means rum. It's not a guy named Ron. Ron extra añejo, Mantuano, and this comes from Venezuela. It's a very good Venezuelan rum. Not easy to come by, but I shall put a little bit of this. There we go. Not as much as the other one, because I don't have all that room left in here. Put that in the rocks glass, so there's a little rum in there with the bourbon. That'll give it some character to make it very interesting cocktail, I think. But that's there for the benefit of the lower, because after all we need his help. Ade due Damballa, give me the power, I beg of you. Yes, exactly. And what else do we need? Ah, yes. I need some things to evoke the scare zone itself. There were so many things going on in the scare zone, and so I picked a couple of ingredients that fit in with some of my favorites. I couldn't find anything for those scare bears. I had some honey liqueurs before, but they're gone. I thought about putting actual honey in here, but I thought, no, that'd be too much. So I'm going to take a couple of things. First of all, the barrel of monkeys. Yes, the barrel of monkeys were there. We had a yellow monkey and a red monkey, I think a blue monkey. And some of those cheeky monkeys, they like to, well, how should I phrase this delicately? Provide a certain, shower of entertainment for the guests. A golden shower of entertainment, if you know what I mean, and I'm afraid you do. Yes. Monkey pee, monkey poo. No, monkey see, monkey do, as we say. Oh, my goodness. So, for the monkey's benefit, here is a bottle of banana liqueur. This is a creme de banane from Drio. It is a French, I believe. Yes, product of France. French creme de banana. So, French or monkey? Ah, and I'm sure that the monkeys in the scare zone would have appreciated that. Although French monkeys are actually over at, last year, were over in the house, dead exposure patient 0. So a little bit of that will also go in here. Okay, it's almost filled up. All right, I need to put something else in there. And so what would be the other item? Well, again, trying to bring it all together, it occurred to me one of the aromas that permeated part of that zone, and that I remember because scent always brings back memories of the zone, is the wonderful smell at the Easy Bake Oven, which really wasn't an Easy Bake Oven. It was, but there was a human victim, not a cake in it, but it still had a certain sort of cake smell. You cake sniffer. No, wrong IP. Ha! Anyway, here is... Let's not get unfortunate in the eventuality of all that. And I'm not putting any lemons or Snickers in here. Just a little bit of cake vodka from Pinnacle. I might use that again before I'm done with the scare zones this year. And again, just a little bit because I think it's powerful stuff. And I shall pour that in. And oh, that looks like a nice tall glass. So, to keep track, it's most of it was, well, the largest amount was bourbon, and then I added a little bit of some rum, and then just a little bit of the other two, the banana and the cake, the banana, creme de banana and the cake flavored vodka. And to pull it all together, nothing works better than bitters. I have lots of different bitters. This is the Bitter Truth. Which one is this? Creole bitters. I chose the Creole bitters because, well, again, for the lower of New Orleans, although Chucky has primarily been in the Chicago area, but still, the voodoo does have a certain connection to that part of the world. And I'll put some dashes of bitters there, the Creole bitters. And I hope it doesn't taste like gasoline, because I put a lot of thought into making this. And then I shall stir it nicely. And hope this will help. Ade due Damballa. Mix me a cocktail, I beg of you. And let's see if the Revenge of Chucky cocktail is working. That's interesting. Considering it's not that much, the banana really hits you harder than anything else right at first. If I do this again, I might put even less of the creme de banana in, because that a little goes a long way, apparently. Oh, that's interesting. Only that first sip. You can still, it's still a heavy note, but it gets mellower after. Of course, all cocktails get mellower after the first couple of sips. The first sip, ooh, but then you take another one, oh, that's not so bad. And of course, as you continue to drink, oh, that's not so bad at all, because by then you're like, yes, exactly. Oh, that is good. I like that. I was just thinking I should have garnished this with a maraschino cherry or something, but no, I guess not. This is not bad. I should have put at least some sort of tartar ingredient, maybe a dash of lemon juice or something, because it is a bit sweet. But then again, Chucky is a doll. I mean, we're talking about a scare zone that was all about children's playthings. Granted, evil children's playthings, but sweetness is a part of that, you know. There's sweetness and candy and treats. Better not say the T word too loud or I'll have a cat in my face. Mm. She likes her little, because Halloween, you know, trick or treat. No, it's the little cat treats, whatever brand it is. She just goes bananas over them, and there's no bananas involved. It's like chicken or fish or something, but she just loves those little treats. Oh, my goodness. That's actually definitely not bad. Okay, so that's a cocktail for Revenge of Chucky. And I did really like the Scare Zone, and I had good friends in the zone, and I would love spending time there when I got a chance, and listening to the Chucky do his show. It was difficult, though, because when it was Scare Zone time, after I'd done all the houses, and I had a little bit of time, and I want to just chill in the Scare Zones, to pick which one. Because I liked Vamp 85 with all the clever vampires, and I loved Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and Revenge of Chucky had so many entertaining things going on. But I didn't want to miss it when the clowns started dancing, you know, and you could have like a street party atmosphere. And of course you didn't want to miss it when stuff was funny and happening in Chucky, when they murdered some CEO, which, God bless America, that just thrills me. That's exactly what I'd like to see. You know, to see the weak and downtrodden getting something back from the rich and powerful. Sort of like, you know, in Les Miserables, when Gavroche gets it up on Javert, because it's the little people. Of course, Gavroche dies after that, but still, nevertheless, for a moment there's this triumph here. How did I go from Chucky to Les Miserables? I have no fucking idea. Oh. Oh well. That's what happens when you freely associate with various spirits. Alright, I'm going to try. Well, I try to catch up on my other videos during the day, and I don't know how many I'm going to get done each day. But I'm going to try to catch up and continue some of the other videos, my reaction videos to announcements, and there may be a new announcement soon. But in the evenings I'm going to make the cocktail videos, and I hope that I'll be able to do one tomorrow night. That would be Friday night, because you're probably not watching this until Friday morning, because I don't think I'm going to bother processing this and uploading it tonight. I'll probably do that in the morning. So I'm making this one on Thursday night. And so Friday the 31st of May, I will likely do a cocktail video for Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And then on Saturday night, June 1st, I shall make the one for Twisted Tradition. And is that all the Scare Zone? Because I've already done them for one for Vamp 85 and for the Harvest, or whatever it was called, in the Plaza of the Stars. And were there 5 Scare Zones? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I think there were 5 set Scare Zones. So Friday, Saturday, I'll be done with the set Scare Zone cocktails. On Sunday night, I shall do a video with the last 2, not the set Scare Zones, but those sort of chainsaw unofficial zones, that part of one of which at least was a total last-minute drop in, and one was in Springfield, USA, and was what I call, you know, that sort of circus carnival scare zone, but I call the Greatest Showman scare zone because it reminded me of that. And the other one, it was definitely meant to invoke Fast and Furious because the attraction is right there and they're dressed as mechanics, and there were at least one or two characters that look like some of the, especially the one that's supposed to be Dom Toretto's sister or girlfriend or whatever. And she was in the, there was a scare actor who looked just like her practically. So I called it Mechanics Mayhem or something, but it was, that's an unofficial thing that some of the scare actors came up with themselves, but it definitely had a certain Fast and Furious vibe with chainsaws. So I will, instead of doing a cocktail for those two, what I'll do on Sunday is come up with two little shots to commemorate those and have them at once and get schlocked for that reason. And that will wrap up all the Halloween Horror Nights 28. And maybe on Monday, if I can think of one by then, I can do the first haunted house cocktail for this year at last. I hope I can, because I need to make 4 haunted house cocktails already for this year, for the 4 haunted houses that have already been announced. And there might even be a 5th one announced before I do any of those, because I have a suspicion that the 5th haunted house will be announced possibly tomorrow. And I even suspect it'll be an intellectual property. I do not know which one it's going to be. There are 3 more highly rumored intellectual properties, and I don't even know if those highly rumored properties are actually going to be happening, or if it's just somebody had made it up. But so far, as I said earlier in a different video, so far it's been 4 for 4 in the speculation lists and maps that have been popping around. So whoever is coming up with these things seems to have heard something. So it's possible that those 3 remaining IPs in those lists may actually happen. Although again, I don't know for certain. One of those, I suspect, and this is purely guesswork on my part, I haven't heard anything. No one has told me that such and such a house will be announced on such and such a date. But just a little bit of guesswork in detective. I think I wouldn't be surprised if an IP house might be announced tomorrow. And that's purely from my own guessing trend analysis, Ouija board, whatever you want to call it, not from any information anyone has given me. And if it isn't announced, or if original house is announced tomorrow, I won't be disappointed. That's fine. Or if no house is announced, that's fine too. Because this was just speculation on my part based on a couple of bits and pieces of information that I'm not sure about. And deducing from that further, I think we may be about to get another announcement shortly. And according to rumors, and now here I'm totally on a limb, I have no idea, but according to the rumors, the last 3 IPs, if indeed there are 5 IPs, would all three be motion pictures, I believe. Oh dear. I hate when that happens. And let me verify. So right now I'm not remembering things well, which means this cocktail's better than I thought it was. Oh, that's right. One of the IPs is extraordinarily likely to happen because of things that have been seen physically in California, but I'll get to that in another video. But I have a suspicion then that there are 3 remaining IPs, all of which are motion pictures, 2 of which are from the 1980s, and 1 of which is from the early 21st century. All 3 of which have been at horror nights, one way or another, in the past. And yet, have never been a haunted house in Orlando. So there you go. But again, we'll see. We shall see. And I've just finished off that little bit of cocktail, and I have other things to do tonight. And so I bid you farewell again, until next time. Oh, and hopefully, as I said, I can make more videos as we go along and try to catch up a bit. So good night, my children. If you do drink, drink responsibly. If you are of a certain age, 21 years or older in the United States, if you're underage wherever you are, don't drink. And that's to protect my ass legally. And I wish you all a wonderful rest of your life. Pleasant screams.